Hello everyone. Today we are going to study transforms. We know that transformation is an operation which reduces mathematical expression from one form to another form where either it can be solved easily or the method of solution become simple. For example, if we consider logarithmic transformation, then what it does? It transforms multiplication, division and the power to the addition, subtraction and simple multiplication respectively. And we know that addition, subtraction and simple multiplication, they are very easy. So same role these transforms they plays. So in this, first we are going to start with Fourier transform, for which we have to start with Fourier integral representation. We know that Fourier series are very powerful tools in treating various problems involving periodic functions. For example, this is the function whose waveform is like this. It is periodic function with period 2L is equal to 4. But in practical, there are many problems which contains non-periodic functions. For example, this single unrepeated pulse. If we want to study such problems, then we have to think that what can be done with the Fourier series so that we can obtain suitable representation for these non-periodic functions so that problems will be studied easily. Here we can think of making the fundamental period of the function infinite so that Fourier series will get converted into the integral representation and which is called as Fourier integral representation. Now we will go to see how to obtain the Fourier integral representation of the function from the Fourier series. Fourier integral representation. So for periodic function f(x) having period 2L in the interval minus L to L and which satisfies the Dirichlet's conditions, its Fourier series is. So we know that what is the Fourier series. So the Fourier series for this periodic function f(x) is given by f(x) is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity an cos of n pi x upon L plus bn sin of n pi x upon L, where these Fourier coefficients are evaluated using the formulae a naught equal to 1 upon L integration from minus L to L FLV dV, an equal to 1 upon L integration from minus L to L FLV, the coefficient of an in the Fourier series which is cos of n pi v upon L dV, bn 1 upon L integration from minus L to L FLV, coefficient of bn in the Fourier series which is sin of n pi v upon L dV. Now we will replace expressions of the Fourier coefficient in the Fourier series. So the Fourier series it becomes like this. So FLX equal to 1 upon 2L integration from minus L to L FLV dV plus 1 upon L summation n equal to 1 to infinity cos of n pi x upon L integration from minus L to L FLV cos of n pi v upon L dV plus 1 upon L summation n equal to 1 to infinity sin of n pi x upon L integration from minus L to L FLV sin of n pi v upon L dV. Now in this expression for the general frequency we will make the substitution as general frequency is n pi upon L. So for which we will make the substitution as lambda. So lambda is equal to n pi upon L and therefore delta lambda is equal to, so this is the difference between two successive frequencies in the general term. So that will give us delta lambda is equal to n plus 1 pi upon L minus n pi upon L which is equal to pi upon L. This gives us 1 upon L is equal to delta lambda upon pi. Now replace the value of 1 upon L as delta lambda upon pi in the above expression except first term. So above expression it will takes the form FLX equal to first term as it is. The second term we have replaced this 1 upon L by delta lambda upon pi, and we have rewritten expression in which the second term is now 1 upon pi summation n equal to 1 to infinity cos of lambda x delta lambda integration minus L to L FLV cos of lambda v dv, and the third term is plus 1 upon pi summation n equal to 1 to infinity sine of lambda x delta lambda integration minus L to L FLV sine lambda v dv. Now we will take that cos lambda x term and sine lambda x term inside the integral sign, and we will simplify the expression. We will use the trigonometric formula and we will get the expression as FLX is equal to 1 upon 2L integration from minus L to L FLV dV plus 1 upon pi summation n equal to 1 to infinity delta lambda integration from minus L to L FLV. See, those two product terms now they can be replaced by cos of lambda into V minus x dV. Cos of lambda into V minus x dV. Now to make this period infinite, now we will consider this L tends to infinity, and assuming that the limiting form of this FLX, it is absolutely integrable on the x-axis. So now let L tends to infinity and assume that non-periodic function f of x. So this f of x is the limiting form of the FLX. It is absolutely integrable on x-axis. That is, its integration from minus infinity to infinity mod of f of x dx, it will exist. As L tends to infinity, this implies that 1 upon L tends to 0. Also delta lambda, which is pi upon L, it tends to 0. Using this, if we replace the values in the expression 1, so first term which is corresponding to the constant term in the Fourier series, that integration it becomes 0, and second term on the RHS right hand side in the expression 1, it becomes, for which again we will rewrite f of x is equal to limit L tends to infinity FLX, and in this expression now the first term is 0 and second term it will take the form limit delta lambda tends to 0 1 upon pi. So limit of this expression as delta lambda tends to 0, and that expression is 1 upon pi summation n equal to 1 to infinity integration minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda into v minus x dv delta lambda. We know that limiting sum is nothing but the integration from 0 to infinity. So this expression it takes the form f of x is equal to 1 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda into v minus x dv d lambda. So see, this is the required Fourier integral representation for the non-periodic function f of x. I hope that you have got this expression. Now we are going to see alternate forms of the Fourier integral representation. In that, if we remember that formula, in that limits for lambda they are 0 to infinity, and we know that with respect to lambda the sine function will be an odd function in the interval minus infinity to infinity. So without loss of generality we can add sine function into that expression, and then it will takes the form f of x is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from, so see that 0 to infinity, now we have written it as minus infinity to infinity, so that with respect to lambda cos function is even, sine function is odd, so cos function can be written as 2 times, 2 will get cancelled and we left with 1 upon pi 0 to infinity, and second term with respect to lambda it becomes 0. So the Fourier integral representation that we obtained in the last slide and this one, they are one and the same. There is no any difference. So f of x is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda into v minus x minus I times sine of lambda into v minus x dv d lambda. Purposefully this expression is been written because we want to express it into exponential form using Euler's formula, and that is our second alternate form. So complex exponential form of the Fourier integral representation is, so replace this term using Euler formula so that Fourier integral representation will be f of x is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v e raised to minus I lambda into v minus x dv d lambda. So see, this is the complex exponential form. Same expression also can be written as f of x is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity e raised to I lambda x integration minus infinity to infinity f of v e raised to minus I lambda v dv d lambda. See, same complex exponential form of the Fourier integral representation, we are going to use it to define Fourier transform. Okay, so please keep in mind this form. Okay, as we discussed already, that sine lambda into v minus x is an odd function with respect to lambda. So therefore, alternate form 1, it will takes the form f of x is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus infinity to infinity, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda into v minus x dv d lambda. Obviously second term it will become 0 as sine function is an odd function with respect to lambda and limits are from minus infinity to infinity. To get the second form, again we are going to use the property that cosine function is an even function with respect to lambda. So that we will get the form as f of x is equal to 1 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda into v minus x dv d lambda. This is the expression same as we obtained the Fourier integral representation. Now simplify this cos of lambda into v minus x term, use the trigonometric formula, and hence the last alternate and the important form is f of x is equal to 1 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v. Expand this using trigonometric formula, we will be getting trigonometric formula cos of a minus b, that will gives us cos of lambda v into cos of lambda x plus sine of lambda v into sine of lambda x dv d lambda. Please keep in mind this form because we are going to use it further to obtain Fourier sine integral representation and Fourier cosine integral representation. Now we will see Fourier sine integral representation or Fourier sine integral. So if f of x is an odd function in the interval minus infinity to infinity, hence what it gives us, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v cos of lambda v dv is equal to 0 because f of v is an odd function, cos lambda v with respect to v it is an even function. So product of odd and even function is odd, hence the value of the integration, value of this integrand within the limits minus infinity to infinity, it is 0. Similarly, integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v sine lambda v dv, as this product is an even function, it is equal to 2 times 0 to infinity f of v sine lambda v dv. Now replace this value of this integration in the expression 5 from the last slide. It will gives us f of x is equal to 2 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity f of v sin lambda v sin lambda x dv d lambda. So this is the Fourier sine integral representation of the f of x. But for that, important condition is what? F of x should be an odd function in the interval minus infinity to infinity. Now we will see Fourier cosine integral or Fourier cosine integral representation. For that, we have to consider f of x is an even function in the interval minus infinity to infinity, which gives us integration from minus infinity to infinity f of v sin lambda v dv. As this product is an odd function, so in the interval minus infinity to infinity, value of the integration is 0, and in the interval minus infinity to infinity, value of the integration f of v cos lambda v dv, as this product is an even function, its value is 2 times the integration from 0 to infinity f of v cos lambda v dv, and therefore fifth it becomes now f of x is equal to 2 upon pi integration from 0 to infinity f of v cos lambda x dv d lambda. So this is the required Fourier cosine integral representation. I hope you have understood this. Thanks for watching this video.